Public hearing for August 18th, August 18th, 2026, calling to order the public hearing to discuss the operating budget. Mr. McNeely?
The purpose of this public hearing is to present the 2026-27 annual operating budget. And then, Mr. Chairman, if you would go to the next item, just see if there's any public comment.
Okay. Ms. Amanda, did anybody sign up for public comment?
No, sir.
Anybody in the room that wishes to make a public comment? All right. Having no public comment, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Channel 17, proudly serving the Florida parishes.
I'm going to call that capital outlay meeting to order on August 18th, 2026. Roll call, Miss Amanda.
Ms. Abrams?
Here.
Mr. Anthony?
Here.
Ms. Dominguez?
Present.
Mr. Duncan?
Here.
Mr. Moore? Mr. Piazza?
Here.
Ms. Richards?
Present.
Mr. Toller? Mr. Glenn Westmoreland?
Present.
I don't know why.
All right, everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Piazza.
Yep. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, 2A, consider current projects, consider approval to seek bids for Hammond High Magnet School Gym Music Building Roofing Recoding.
All right, this, we're coming to you before we go out for bids. We have a construction total budget estimate of $292,000 approximately on this project, with contingency of about $322,000 total. This is to recoat the entire Hammond High School music building. We've made IDA repairs, but the entire area is leaking and we need to fix the roof. So before we went out for bid and wasted anybody's time, if you weren't interested in that, we just wanted to come to the capital outlay, because this will not be paid with IDA funds. This is going to be capital outlay funds.
When you say recoating, you mean like there's a protective coating on it, or what kind of roof is on that building?
It is a Suprema. Suprema has a coating for metal roofs with a warranty. The best thing, let's see, it's a 10-year warranty on the coating.
So the new roof that we replaced with IDA is leaking?
And we repaired sections of the roof.
Oh, okay.
So we fixed everything about the building that was IDA damage. This is actually a deferred maintenance item that the roof needs to be either completely redone or coated, and we are recommending to coat the roof.
It needs to be done.
It's a metal roof, so it's just like a spray. They paint,
It's a metal roof.
so they
Yeah, it's
actually paint the metal roof.
It's a silicone coating, but you pick a color.
What's the life expectancy of that?
10-year warranty.
Okay.
Hopefully, we can match it with
I
the
was
rest of
gonna
the
say,
other
what-
buildings.
Yeah. What, it was a kind of an unusual color though, wasn't it?
We paint it green, right?
And
Yeah, we're going with green.
Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of green.
well, once upon a time, but right now, it's
gotta go back-
sometimes green, sometimes other colors.
We're gonna go back green, I think. I feel like that'd be great. Can
Would
we
it
put
be
a
a
peach?
color or
Jessica?
would it be just like a?
Punch to the green.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is kind of green. No.
Ah, okay.
All right.
I want it to match the rest of the other buildings.
Oh, so we're not doing all the buildings?
No, we're just doing the gym and the auditorium.
Oh, that's right. I read that, yeah.
So anyway, I move to adopt the administration's recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
Second. Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Piazza.
This is just approval to seek bids. You're not spending any money.
Do we know, and I know it's gonna be very costly, about replacing the whole thing? Like, do we wanna look at that too while we're doing it? No? I'm asking.
All
I
right,
mean, 10 years where metal's,
This is a 10-year warranty. It'll last more than that.
I'll call for vote, Miss Amanda.
Ms. Abrams?
Yes.
Mr. Anthony?
Yes.
Ms. Dominguez?
Yes.
Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Piazza?
yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Toller?
Fortunately, yes.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, nothing else for capital outlay
Before we
committee?
adjourn, there's not an item, but just for me to present something to you, I don't think
Okay,
it has
go
to be. I shared with you a Word doc, sent you an email, and here's a physical copy. I'm just asking for some guidance from the board on small capital outlay We don't really have anything that says what it can and can't be used for, so I think it would be good to get some guidelines for you to come up with some guidelines. So I have kind of a question for you, and then I copied the existing policy, so I'm just going to give these out to you, and I just wanted to explain it. Don't need it tonight.
Okay.
Ms. Rose nervous.
And we're adjourned.
Read it today, but.
Channel 17, proudly serving the Florida parishes.
August 18th, 2026, 6 o'clock p.m. Miss Amanda, can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Anthony,
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland,
Present.
Miss Abrams,
Here.
Ms. Dominguez, Mr. Duncan,
Here.
Mr. Moore,
Here.
Mr. Piazza,
Here.
Ms. Richards,
Present.
Mr. Toller. You have a quorum.
All right, we'll go ahead and stand for the pledge. Ms. Dominguez, would you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, under number 2, opening items, we will consider approval for the Tangi Parish School Board meeting minutes of August 4th, 2026.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Piazza,
Second.
second by Mr. Westmoreland. Do we have any opposition to approving the minutes? All right, hearing no opposition, motion carries. We'll move on to committee reports and recommendations. Item A is consider adoption of the Finance Committee reports for August 4th, 2026.
Mr. President, can I motion to adopt items A and D in one motion?
Yes, you may. All right, we have a motion to adopt items A and B under one motion. Do we have a second?
A and D and A or A and B?
A and B.
A is in apple through, D is in dog.
I'm sorry, thank you. All right, Ms. Amanda,
Yes.
you got all that?
Yes.
We have a motion to adopt items A through D, or to approve those committee reports. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Dominguez. Do we have any opposition to the approval of these reports? Hearing no opposition, motions carry. So we'll go to item 4, financial updates. And item A under number 4 is monthly sales tax reports. Mr. McNeely.
Good evening. We have our first month sales tax for this school year. For the half penny, it was down about 2.91%, $42,000. So the next one is our monthly sales tax of the 2%, and it was pretty much flat. It was down $16,000 on $6.5 million. So those two were down a little bit 2 years ago. So something's going on with July. I wouldn't make it a trend for the whole year. We'll see when we get the numbers next month. Okay. Any questions?
Save the money for school supplies.
Yeah.
All right, and then we also, you want to go to item B? I was taking your job.
All right, we're with item B. I'm sorry, presentation of the July check register. I thought you were heading that way already.
Okay, so that is, everybody got the check register. Do you have any questions? It was a lot less, the check register, but it has something to do with the whole 13th period and how we close out the end of the year. So total was about $9 million for that month. Okay? We do not have the monthly financial statements this month because we're in the process of closing out June 30th year end, and we should have those by September 1st.
Got it. Okay, none of those items need approval, so we'll go on to board actions. Item A is consider authorizing the superintendent to execute any and all documents for the purchase of 106 Kinney Street.
Hey, this is a very interesting situation. One, as you know, we are moving the bus mechanic into, if you see on the screen, that gray building that is kind of rusted at the top, and then down at the lower section is where the bus repair area was going to be. But to do bus inspections, you have to have a certain number of footage. So we were having to add on to the width of that building. We started looking into a way that we could actually turn the buses and enter the bottom of the building, which is long enough to do that. And so we needed this piece of property. I reached out to Glenn Galbraith, who was part of the Ginger Ford, who was the owner of that, and he was not part of that anymore, and so it just kind of died. Well, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I got a call from somebody from Ginger Ford, and they said, hey, we were looking at something, we realized that part of your building's on our property, and we want to work to resolve that. And I said, would you be interested in selling your property? And they said, certainly. And I said, well, we have to get an appraisal. So I got an appraisal. The appraisal is $35,000. Their board has voted and is willing to sell it for that. So administration's recommendation to resolve, it gives us an additional side into that building, and it resolves a potential dispute of our building being on their property. We recommend authorizing the superintendent to purchase that property for $35,000.
Move to authorize the superintendent to purchase for $35,000.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Duncan and a second by Ms. Dominguez. Anybody have any comment on this one?
Yeah, I read it like a little bit more than a half acre or something around that.
It's a pretty large piece of property.
I was thinking I read it was
What
like
about-
0.55 or
Do
something.
we own the one next to that?
So that 281509 is ours.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that one's not drawn right, because
I was about
that,
to say, yeah.
the property, when it was purchased, is actually where that concrete slab is. So there's something in the legal description on that one that is probably not correct, that needs to be corrected.
Yeah, that was my question, because I saw
But
that, and I'm
I
like,
did check with the assessor's office, and both of those properties are drawn accurate to the legal description. But I would dare say there's an error on that 2841509 in the legal description.
yeah.
Do you know who did the appraisal on that?
Murphy?
Do we have a copy of it?
Yes. Can you pull up that?
Yeah.
One of them is going to be the appraisal. There we go. Oh, half acre, yeah, 0.55 acres.
And that's half an acre without having a piece of somebody's building on it, right?
I would say vote yes quickly, since they want to sell it.
It seems like a lofty appraisal value. It doesn't have any road frontage.
It does have Kenny Road.
Does it?
Yeah, Kenny attaches, it actually, which will give us a way to move buses in and out of that.
Okay.
So and speaking with transportation, the plan would be, if we have buses needing to come in, they would now be able to come in through Kenny, and they have checked it. It is a big enough road for them to make that turn.
That's a value in and of itself,
Yeah.
I guess. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. I just felt like it was kind of lofty. Anyway, any
This
other
is for
questions, comments?
Ginger Ford Habitat, is that who owns it?
That's who had it. I don't know. Obviously, somebody must have donated it to them at some point.
Well, at least we know that it's going to a good organization too, that money.
Definitely.
All right. Do we have any other questions, comments, concerns? And no public input on this? So, Ms. Amanda, we can go ahead and call for a vote on that one?
Mr. Anthony?
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes.
Miss Abrams?
Yes.
Ms. Dominguez?
Yes.
Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Piazza?
Yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Toller?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, moving on to item B is consider approval of the low bid for the TPSS Operations Warehouse Projects by Cox Parker Contractors LLC for the amount of $466,000.
A little background on this one. If you remember, we entered into a sales agreement with the town of Amite to sell our old warehouse and maintenance area behind Amite High School. We received $215,000 plus the ability to stay there, I think, another 2 years. So we started working on this project to try to relocate the warehouse to this property, which is, give me bearings, that end of our building, between here and the warehouse. The original architect came back, same architect, the original came back around $700,000. And I said, we don't have $700,000. I was thinking we were going to spend like $230,000 on this. So they went back, and now they've come back. They opened bids, and the price was $466,000. So with the 215 that we got, that is us putting $250,000 of our capital outlay money into it. If there's any questions about the building, the use of the building, I asked Charlie to be here tonight because he knows way more about the warehouse than I do.
Who was the architect on that file?
Chris Bankston.
Yeah, that's what Banks. I had one question before you did. How much more time do we have to use the A-Meat property?
I can find out. I believe it was 2 to 3 years.
But
And
how much time do we have left to work on this?
That's been, what, 6 months?
Because, I mean,
9
even all
months.
of these bids even came up higher than what the architect estimated the cost would be. He had estimated it to come in at 400,
Right,
and our best number is 66,000 more than that.
right. I did talk to Chris yesterday, and he said one of the issues with this is where we're putting it. There's a lot of subsurface work that has to be done because that is the drainage area through the entire property.
Do we have other options?
If we try to do it here, which Charlie would like for it to be here because, one, we keep everything centralized and we can use one forklift. We're not having to move the forklift over to another site and that kind of. So it's very advantageous to us for security to have all our stuff in one place. The original place we looked was behind the maintenance parking, that strip back there. We actually had it surveyed, and we don't own all the way to the wood line. We only own maybe up to about 20 feet from that wood line. So we would have to eliminate that parking lot if we tried to put it there. Plus, we're Tangible Parish here, not Town of A-Meat, and there's a lot setback that you have to do on buildings. So to do that, I would think we would want to get annexed in by A-Meat so that we could then build closer to the property line if we wanted to try to do it over there.
All right, do we have a motion on this before we go any further?
That's what I was gonna do. I'll make a motion to accept the recommendation for the 466,000.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Mingus. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Piazza seconds, and go ahead, Mr. Mingus.
I would like to hear from Mr. Page, but, because we really haven't got a diagram, we haven't got any details, we haven't got anything about this, as far as what we're actually gonna build.
Who's better for describing it? Why don't you come up too, Charlie? I'm gonna pull up that lease while.
Like, what type of building? I mean, it's gonna be a metal building?
It's a metal building.
Yeah,
It's 70 by 109.
Yes, 70 by 109. It's pretty much just a straight metal building. What you see there currently, I think the eave height is shorter than what we have, but it's pretty much just a metal building.
16 foot. And if I may, Trent, if I can add a couple things.
Yes, sir.
I sent an email today we just built one 60 by 90, which is 5,400 square feet compared to the 7,000 square feet. So it's a little bit smaller for $207,000 all in. All in. We're spending a little bit more now because we're doing electrical and we're tied it to another building. So I'm going to be at 227 all in with aprons around it. That's concrete, that's 6-inch slabs, same thing, insulated, 3 roll-up doors, 2 walk-through doors, roof vent. I went over the plans today. I know this is going to cost a little bit more here because of subsurface. And it's no fault of theirs. Anytime you go over 260, it turns into a public bid. When it turns into a public bid, the price skyrockets.
Yep.
If you can keep a building under 260, you can get quotes for the building, you get quotes for the dirt work, quotes for this, and you can do something for half price. And my recommendation, I know we already have a motion and a second on the floor, but my recommendation, I remember the conversation in here when we sold that, we agreed to sell it to A-Meat, and the goal was to take that money and build a metal building. Now we're taking another $250,000 out of the classroom to build something, and look, I'm putting $30,000 worth of racks in ours. You can put a lot of racks and you can put a lot of stuff in a 60 by 90. So I know maybe what we want, we don't always get, but my suggestion is to go back to the drawing board, and a 60 by 90 is the most efficient size of a metal building as far as cost-wise. When you start getting into the 70 by 109, now it's a special build, special construction, the cost just continues to go up. My advice is to let's go back to the drawing board and find something that we can afford, or a cheaper place to put it, or another option of maybe putting this next to a school. I mean, I know a forklift is, less than 20 grand, you can put a forklift in a building. We have places that we have a lot more available space than here. So,
Can I ask Charlie a question about that?
yeah.
I trust your judgment. Why do we feel it's so important for it to be here in a meet? And we do have a lot of other options, and most of our student population is further south.
The main reason would be inventory control. If it's here, our warehouse foreman checks everything in and out. When deliveries come in, we can put them straight there. We don't have to stop everything and run to another facility to check things in and out.
But it does it, I'm sorry, Brett. You finished?
Well, so we don't have another way to do that as far as, other warehouse foremen that could work us south? I thought we had other warehouses towards the south end. We don't.
We used to.
Used to. We don't anymore.
The
Everything's
crew,
here.
Because we used to have a south end warehouse, we had the one here, and then we had the one over in in town.
The crews.
One of them is where the bus shed's going, and the other one is technology has the entire facility now.
Yeah.
So this is all we have left. Go ahead.
So does it have to be this 70 by, can we go to what Tom is recommending? I mean, that's not just 10 feet.
How did we get to that number, I think?
Architect got to that number because at 7,500, you have to sprinkle it. So right now, we're at 7,480.
Well, I'm saying though, how did we get to that square footage? Like, I know how we got there without sprinkler, was there a
They're
need
max-
for that size?
They're maximizing the space without having to go to sprinkler, which is understandable and it's admirable.
Well, I'm saying, did the administration ask for that amount of space?
We were trying to get
Big as you
close
can
to
get?
what we have already
I think we
have.
had 11,000 square feet currently stored
Correct.
over there now, with the site we have remaining. AMET's using the rest of it, but the buildings we retained was about 11,000 square feet. We squeezed it down to fit in 7,400 square feet. I didn't know the thing about the sprinklers, I'm sure that's what.
Yeah.
So he got us as big a building as we could get, without having to put money in the sprinkler system.
But that's my question though, would the administration, would it still fit the need if we went lower than the 7,000 or 7,000? Like, hey, man, that was already us stretching to what we're gonna need it for, is my question. Because, look, we all would want a bigger building, of course, but is the need there, or is it just at that point, we were just trying to subsidize what we were losing?
The problem we have is some things that, for us, are hard to get. So when we order them, we have to order in bulk. If we order them as we need them, it takes 6 to 8 months to get, especially anything to do with water source, air conditions. So that's the main reason, because the other facility, we keep pretty full now.
Yeah.
11,000 square.
Is all that on racks over there?
Stacked and pallet.
I'm just wondering, racks make a building very efficient.
Oh, yeah.
You can put a lot of stuff, for $30,000, you can fill a building up with racks.
That's, part of that is actually the old warehouse before this one was built. So there's already racks in that.
It's just not a good time for us right now to spend $500,000, in my opinion, with the uncertainty of MFP money and.
I agree 100%. I just want to make sure that if we do go back to the drawing board, we're not lowering the standard of what we need just because of the financial burden that it may create. If we need it, now if there's a need and we can't afford it now, then let's just push this project off to where we can still meet within our time frame of when we run out of time. But if we could make it a smaller building because the need is not in need of 7,000 square foot, that might be something we need to look at as an administration and say, hey, I know we want 7, but in reality, we could probably make it do with a 5,400 or whatever it may be.
There's lots of options. We could be creative. I'd like to explore some other, I'd like to look at other locations. I think there's some warehouses for sale in Hammond that we might could do get a lot more space for less than
I got an answer to your question. It was a 60-month period that started in March, so we have time.
Okay.
Now,
60
Amy
months?
would like us out yesterday, but we do have an agreement that we have
I
60
motion to
months.
table.
So,
Okay, well,
if
we
you
have a
help-
motion.
so
Yeah.
do you want to, table and bring
We
this
wanna-
back in a couple of weeks, or do you want to reject
I
all
think we
bids
should
and go back to the
reject these
drawing?
bids, not just table them if that's, I think we should reject them and then let's look at, that way this is out and we're looking at some other
But
options.
we have a motion on the floor to accept the recommendation, so we'll have to do a substitute motion.
Yeah, go
We
ahead.
can vote
So
no.
I'll make a substitute motion that we reject all bids,
Why don't we just vote on it?
or we can just vote on it.
And vote no if you don't want it to pass, yeah.
Yes, sir.
On agree.
Huh?
Let's just vote on it.
You're good.
And like I said, this is not against y'all. I know y'all need this, and we want to get it, we just want to get it right.
Just one more question. What about, like, I know we have extra desks that we keep on hand. Where are those at?
That building?
That, they're gonna go in this building too? Okay.
They
take
had them
up a
at the,
lot of space.
they had all those desks and things over at the College and Career Center in that gym for a long time.
Yeah, I think Brett made
This
a
is what
really
the
good
square
point.
feet difference between the bigger, what's this and the what Tom is asking for. Maybe we could configure that and see how much difference it would
Build
be.
a smaller one here and a smaller one in Hammond, you could build two.
I feel
Yeah.
like you
I
could
do-
get
I do
warehouse
think-
space for $20 a foot, not 50, you know?
I do think it would be better, instead of, if you voted no to accept the bid, I think you actually need to vote to reject,
I think we do.
affirmatively reject all bids.
If we want to shut this project down, it needs to be a rejection bids.
Okay.
Well, I'll make the motion, substitute motion, that we reject the bids.
All right, so we have our first two motions, which you recorded. Now, Tom Toller has made a substitute motion that we reject the bids. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Second by Mr. Duncan. Rose, you're letting people draw faster than you. All right, so that was a second by Mr. Duncan, and we can go ahead, unless there's any more comment, is there? Go ahead and call for vote on that, please.
Mr. Anthony?
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes.
Miss Abrams?
Yes.
Ms. Dominguez?
Yes.
Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Piazza?
Yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yeah.
Mr. Toller?
All right, we'll go to item C, which is consider approval of the 2027 high school graduation dates. Ms. Liuza, but is not here, so Dr. Fussell, I see, is coming up to present.
Tonight, and I hope there's a copy linked. So Southeastern sent their recommended dates and practice schedule. I don't remember, it feels like we've had it for a minute. We reviewed it, we went through it with the schools. They had some, of course, Southeastern, they graduate a lot of different groups, so they have to put a lot of pieces together, and they have a lot of reasons why they put pieces together, but this is what they sent, and we have reviewed with the schools.
Okay, do we have a motion so we can start discussing?
Yeah, I have I'll make the motion. I do have a question too.
We have a motion by Mr. Piazza
Second.
and a second by Mr. Westmoreland to approve these graduation dates. All right, who's going? I'm going to go Ms. Dominguez this time. She's been getting skipped over. And then Mr. Piazza, you'll be next. Thank you.
Well, I had a concern, like the Saturdays. Why does our parish have to do Saturdays when we're the parish that hosts Southeastern? Why can't we do the nights and let some other parishes have Saturdays if our schools don't necessarily want Saturdays? I know last year was a conflict with track. The state track meet is that same day, and some of our kids couldn't really graduate. They had to either go to the state meet or they had to graduate. And Sumner and Ponchatoula are the two biggest track activities. And then I know, I think Dr. Kamamita had asked about doing it for Ponchatoula's because she thought maybe they could go to dinner or whatever after, but I don't think the staff is excited about the Saturday. Just wondering why we have to be stuck with Saturdays if we didn't really want to have the Saturdays.
Southeastern does not, I've never talked to them ever about, they send the projected dates. One year, they tried to change the week. They sent it to Miss Tilly in advance and asked to change the week. It was way earlier.
This is pretty early too.
Yeah, and it was a whole different, and so that's the only time we've ever communicated, but I've never met with the person who does this. They send the projected dates, and we ours is always within a week. So we're going to end up with someone on a Saturday
Yeah.
simply because we're going to do it in a week. I do know from being a high school principal that one of the things they get from us are all the things that we have to do, whether you bring a band, how many chairs you need, how many rows. I do notice that some of the way that they group is that they don't have so many to put out. If you have a small school and then a large school or a large school, you have a lot of movement to do. So I know that's a consideration for them. And I know that during the week, especially when they have night classes, I know that they still have a lot of traffic in that area. And so for bigger, larger schools for them on a Saturday is a time they have less within their campus. That I know because we asked, but no principal communicates that to them. They might communicate to us, but they don't talk to Southeastern. They take all the districts and then kind of send it to us, Miss Rose. But I've never met with anybody from Southeastern about how they come up with it.
I know, I was just
Yeah.
wondering
Yeah.
if that could be something talked about.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I think the rationale, the two largest schools are on Saturday because just the
but this
traffic.
past year was the very first time Ponchatoula was ever on a Saturday. It was always Hammond and A meet, my whole 20 years.
I think Southeastern
Yeah.
did that for their.
Southeastern, because they put so many chairs out.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And it's an easier setup for them because when you have two large schools back to back.
And when you spill over, Miss Tilly, I remember, because I've had to walk it, I think Mr. Westmoreland and Mr. Duncan and I all were over on the other end once with Hammond High. When they don't have campus going on the evening, there's more room for the overflow to come through there. But that's Southeastern that does that more for their purposes. Oh, someone else had a
Go ahead,
question.
Mr. Piazza.
So, I want to echo a little bit on that one. Saturdays, Fridays, I really don't care, but I did think it was a little unfair for those track meet kids. But my question would be, do we have any way of having an input as a school system to Southeastern? Like, could we move Ponchatoula and Laranja, those two dates, and put like Ponchatoula where Laranja is, Laranja and Ponchatoula, so you don't have two of the biggest schools back to back on the same day? Because I know traffic was a little tough last year between those times. Plus, those are your largest track meet schools that you have.
Yeah, I'm sure we can email them, but their suggestion was based on the size of the
Like,
school.
I get that, and I'm not.
And I don't know who else they have. They'll have someone practicing, and then, again, it's all in their seating. Like if they're graduating
Right.
that group to that group, it has to do with their layout. So I'm pretty sure we
say move Laranjas, they're not the same size, but
No.
they are the highest one out of the other schools that you have when it comes to
It's-
their graduation rate.
Yeah, it's still significantly different for them. I'm sure we can email and ask them anything. The reason we brought them now to try to get them approved is it holds up all the seniors in there, putting out their announcements and getting their families to know. And so we can go back and forth with Southeastern. But I know when we asked them that that's what we were told. It was more based on their notice of the flow of traffic, what they have to do within their building to prepare for that graduation.
Dr. Purcell, did you say that, that Chastity shared this with the principals? and
Oh, yes, yes, ma'am. I know with a couple of the principals, because we do, one of them gets moved from wherever. Well, Southeastern's going to put them out, but they're looking at their size. So we had to explain that to some of them, but we take into things like account like AP. So Sumner High, Kentwood High, and Amite High, they don't generally have an AP exam, which those exams, sometimes we have to do towards the later week. We might be waiting on something to come in for transcripts. So it's also better for us as a system that we put schools that have an AP, IB, those type of exams later in our graduating week.
I think that possibly it's because Ponchatoula and high school have the two largest graduating classes, so having them both on a Saturday, it sets a limit on the amount of traffic on a business day. So
Well, that is true, but
And all your
I'm just
security's
saying
at one
this, last year was the very first time ever that Ponchatoula was on a Saturday. That's what I'm saying. It was just so, all the other years it was fine. I mean,
I
like what
understand.
happened.
I'm sorry. I understand this is Southeastern's recommendation, but we had this same discussion last year. Again, Ponchatoula, I think, sent 3 kids to the track meet that had to decide between track meet and graduation.
And that was,
I think they decided track
I think
meet.
the least amount of kids that they've had go
Yeah,
to track.
but
Usually
it's
they have
very
a
possible.
lot of kids go
I
to
know one
state
of
track.
the parents personally, so can we ask Southeastern, can we move it to Sunday evening or Monday evening for the Ponchatoula? Or,
I'm sure we could ask them. Now Monday, they probably are booked. I don't know about a
they're probably-
Sunday.
At this point, they've already probably.
I mean, Mondays, they have other systems, but.
It would have to be us changing.
well, I mean, like the following Monday.
Well, they can switch it.
And like I said,
Oh, I
I
see.
personally
Gotcha.
don't mind it being on a Saturday, but my concern is having the 2 largest on the same day has created some issues with traffic on that site because they are 2 of the largest. Like, I mean.
But it's so far apart, Joey. They
wasn't
start at
a-
10 in the morning and 3
But
in
when
the
you take
afternoon.
into account how long, and like we had a delayed this year, we had an issue with it delayed for a little bit. By the time you calculate getting everybody off that site, I mean, it starts at 10, it's about a 2-hour affair, and then you got another 2 hours to get everybody off of before Ponchatoula arrives.
I have a suggestion. Why don't we just flip Hammond High and Ponchatoula High? Because y'all mentioned the 2 schools that had the most track. And Hammond High had the morning last time, I mean, this year. And I think Ponchatoula was in the afternoon, wasn't it?
It just depends on the event.
No, I'm talking about this graduation
Oh,
we
yeah,
just
yeah,
had.
yeah, it was-
So if we flip them, that would be fair. One had a morning this year, next year there's, Ponchatoula has a morning. You understand what I'm saying? So
I don't
they
want
still
that to-
could make the track meet.
I just don't want any student to have to make that decision.
Yeah.
you
Well, that
know.
was the other point. I mean, I know we have 2 schools that have track, but really any year, any one of them can, and that's kind of the week that it
That's what I was
falls
saying,
for
well, we
us.
couldn't do it
Yeah.
at night. Like,
But that was my only
why did our
argument too.
parish
with
have
it.
to
I
be-
didn't think it was fair either for those children and the parents that, I mean, this is their graduation, but they've also earned the right to compete at the state level.
Why can't they put a St. Tammany school on our Saturday spot?
That's what my point was.
So, I mean, I'm
We're
not,
the home
if it comes to a vote, I'm voting no.
Like I said, we could go down that rabbit hole all night.
Yeah,
but-
again, I have never met the person who even sends the email. I could just tell you that that's how they usually, they're getting tighter. It used to be a whole lot more, okay, here's your week. It's gotten a lot tighter in their planning, I think, because they added even districts or schools that didn't graduate there before. They're like like their whole month, this is their event cycle. So it's more
I
of,
understand their dilemma.
we've got these, it's more in the, how you move within it. But still, this is what their recommendations were that we are presenting to you.
The problem is, if they've sent this to us already, they've sent it to St. Tammy, they've sent it to Livingston, so they may have approved all their
Well, the
stuff
thing is we
already.
would just swap from
Maybe
another.
the same amount that St. Tammany does? I'm
Yeah, we
pretty
can
sure.
only move within these days, but I mean, our only other option is to not use Southeastern and go back to like where because they're not, they've got so many schools and districts. That's when they brought the week. We had to fight for the week that we got so that we weren't graduating in June, which we got kids who were already in the military going, like it was later. It was getting way later than we would want to have our students exit. So it's more like within this week, and then their recommendation for the 2 largest high schools going back to the traffic was not so much for them within, but the business that happens in the evenings. It's less on Saturday for the spillover. But
I have one more possible alternative. Janice, don't beat me up.
I wasn't saying anything.
30 people.
Nope.
If every one of those people bring 10 people to watch them graduate, that's 300 people that we're paying $8,000 for to rent that center. We can move Ponchatoula to Kentwood slot and have Kentwood a nice, more intimate facility where it doesn't look like there's 7 people inside your building.
No,
You don't like that idea?
no.
What about a better
Kentwood and
space like
Ponchatoula?
Bonnie Borden, or the Robin Roberts building? They can use D. Vickers, something
Oh,
very,
wow,
very
that
nice
would
like
be-
that.
Yeah, you'd be asking that community to take a step back.
Yeah, we've been down this road before.
We've been,
The problem with Kentwood, I mean, Kentwood wanted it in the gym forever.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't intimate and people didn't have to travel.
Yeah.
But then it got limited on space and they outgrew the gym. I think we would stir an whole
families
big
come on.
uproar
This is way
if
more
you tried to
conversation
punish them.
than I thought we'd be having over this. I don't think you take your biggest track school and put their graduation during their track meet.
right.
That's all, so,
Well, the thing is,
You know,
the state
100%.
track meet is always, forever, since my son was going to state track meets, the first weekend of May, first full weekend of May. It's been that forever, so, and then now here, we've changed it last year, and it was just weird that we changed it. But my suggestion moving forward is have a conversation with Southeastern. I mean, maybe they need to know how we feel instead of this, them just, we are the
Emailing.
local parish. It seems like we could have a little bit of clout more so than St. Tammany or Livingston is my point. That was my
Do that
first
when you
sentence.
start talking now for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Not-
next year, that's
not
what I'm saying.
27.
This is, like Robin said, everybody's probably already got this, but that was my first
Well,
sentence.
if it's
I don't
the
know why
first
we
weekend in
can't.
May, the first Saturday in May is May 1st.
Yeah, first full Saturday, the first
Oh,
full
yeah,
weekend.
weekend, so it'd be
Because the
eight.
track meet is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, so.
That's why Sumner never has their prom on that Saturday.
I mean, that's been the set date forever.
But I mean, any one of our high schools can have somebody go. So to the point you all are making, moving forward in general that week, it's not going to be about who's on what as far as any of them on that day could cause a problem. It's the week that we're assigned. If we want to try to negotiate for a different week, we need to start now for the previous year. For the
And
next
even if you
too
put
late
some
to
of
do
the,
that for this year?
Sorry?
Is it too late to do that for this year?
yes.
I cannot speak, I don't know, I'd have to ask them, I'd have to find an email. I don't know how they operate within their
Even if you
timeframe.
put two of the smaller schools on that Saturday, their graduations are going to be a lot quicker, and they can get done quicker to get to that track meet.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be going back to Southeastern because this is the week we have. It'll just be however you all decide within that week that we have and where it is. Remembering that any of them could have somebody go.
All the graduations, I mean, I would say they were all within 10 minutes of an hour and 10 minutes. So even if, whether they had 400 or 40. So I don't think that the timing is a big difference to me. But
I agree.
here's my question. We can sit here and talk about this all night. Because we don't seem, let me rephrase that. We don't like the schedule. I don't like the schedule. A few people don't like the schedule. Can we table this and announce it on the September 1st meeting? I mean, that's 2 weeks from today. And then let's see if we have time to talk to whoever it is at Southeastern that we need to speak to.
Well, I don't think Southeast is really going to be us within that timeframe. So the only thing we'll have to tell them is, hey, it's not going to be the two largest schools for your organization within your building, which that could upset them. We could let them know that part. But really, it's going to be which of the high schools, because like you said, there's not that big of a time difference within their graduations, and any of them can have somebody go to the state track meet any given year. So it's more an internal decision about how they are moved.
There's a lot more track athletes at Ponchatoula High than there might be at some of these other schools that could take the Saturday spot.
I couldn't tell you the history of who goes to the state
Is it
track meet.
fair?
It's at one
because-
school.
Plus, we only have 2 kids that may be running track at Independence to take that Saturday and take it away from them just because Ponchatoula has 18 kids that are going to
Well, they
track.
have more than 18, but yeah, I would say the more kids that you're taking the track meet away from, you would want to limit that. I mean, if you got to take it away from 2 or 18,
I don't know how many
Never on
historically
Saturday.
have
They were
gone
never
from
on
any
Saturday.
school over the years. I could not tell you.
yeah, I don't know.
To the state track
Some
meet.
years it's a lot, and some years, like last year was only 3 or 4. I
In a
mean, you just
perfect
never
world,
know.
in a perfect world, we'd take it away from no kids.
Yes.
99.9 of these graduates and their families are going to get the dates that we give them, and they're going to roll with it. Because they're happy to see the date.
Well, last
I
year, we
think we're
had
gonna
a
think about it
special
a lot more than
graduation. Like, they had the kids just came in with their track clothes on under their cap and gown, and they just did a mock thing just so they could get a picture on the stage. Like, it wasn't really fair to the kid, but at least they got the picture on stage. You know, I mean, our people did that.
Like I said, in a perfect world, we would take it away from no kids, but to have it back-to-back years with the same
Next year.
schools.
Get with them this year, about
I mean,
28.
it's done, it's done.
I totally agree, but last year, when I called, as we approached the date of graduation, maybe a few months before, it was like Christmas time, in fact, and I actually talked to Miss Stilly, and I was like, Miss Stilly, the track meet's happening during Ponchatoula High School's graduation. And the answer that I got, no, it was a good answer. She was like, look, invitations are already printed, all this is already done. We would have had to do this back when y'all approved the schedule. I'm not approving the schedule. Y'all can approve it, I'm voting no. But, so I would like to either table it, or I'm going to vote no, and I might be the only one that does that. But I can't look at another parent in the face and say, your kid has to miss graduation. not when they're a high-performing student and they've made their way to the state track meet. I can't do that in good conscience, so.
So there's a motion to table. Is there a second?
All right,
Did
Tom
somebody
has a motion to
second?
table. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Dominguez, so that's a substitute
And
motion.
it's a non-debate.
Non-debatable
We have to
motion.
do-
All right, so we can go ahead and call for vote on the motion to table, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I
to be a
couldn't hear
See
pain.
if we can rearrange with Southeastern. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. All they can do is say no, maybe they'll say yes.
Yeah, there's people who graduated their schools still today in other districts. They don't go anywhere. They have graduations in their own facilities.
Well, I mean, the issue's gonna be whose spot are you gonna swap?
Well, the thing is, these were handed out. We didn't get a choice of you didn't get a choice. Nobody
No,
got a choice.
they're
They just gave it to us.
What I'm saying is the fairness of it.
With the fairness
All right,
of
so we have
who
a,
said
we are
that?
at this point in a
We
non-debatable
haven't,
motion.
it's a non-debatable.
So we
vote.
we have a motion to table this. We can bring it back up September 1st. Maybe by that time, we can figure out some kind of resolution, even if Ponchatoula has to graduate a week later, whatever the case happens to be. Let's just try to avoid any kid having to miss their state track meet. All right, let's go ahead and call for
Got
it.
it.
Mr. Anthony,
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland,
Yes.
Miss Abrams,
Yes.
Miss Dominguez,
Yes.
Mr. Duncan,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Piazza,
Yes.
Miss Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Toller.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, item 6 is superintendent reports and recommendations.
Yes. I just wanted to quickly update. We had a great start to the school year. I've made it to all the schools, and I know our executive team has been out and about visiting schools as well. We have happy kids. Happy teachers means happy parents. So things have been good so far. And just want to remind everybody, we have our first school tour Thursday morning, and we will be visiting, anybody in the community can register to go, but we're going to go to Greenville Park, and we're going to go to Hammond Westside Montessori School, the upper and the lower. That's our community visit to the schools, bringing them into our schools. We'll have one a month. And then next week, we have a community breakfast that we've pushed out information about as well. Just continuing to really try to engage and involve the community in our work. And then also, the Office of Innovation is doing some parent meetings next week around effective communication with school staff and the tools on how to do that, as well as how to advocate for their child in a manner that gets progress. So they're going to be doing those in services next week with parents. So just great start, strong start, and we're looking forward to another great year.
Thank you. All right. Item 7 is going to be removed. Apparently, that's going to take place at another time. So we're going to move on to item 8, which is board acknowledgement. And anybody want to start? Let's see a show of hands. Mr. Moore, you want to start us off today? Any public comment? No, excuse me, board acknowledgement?
I just want to say welcome back, teachers. Welcome back, students. And I'm looking forward to everybody having a great year.
Thank you. Short and sweet. Mr. Piazza?
Echo the same thing. Welcome back, teachers and students. I want to highlight our maintenance department. I've been on campus a bunch this last few weeks and days, and it looks fantastic. I mean, the schools look good. Everything, I've walked into multiple campuses, and everybody is excited. The campuses look clean. They look like they've been taken care of. I think we've gotten more done in the last year than we've done in a long time. So your crew, thank you to them and all the hard work they put in over the summer. Same with our administration staff. I mean, everything was organized when I went on campus. Everybody seemed happy, and it's been a very good start so far, knock on wood.
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Minguez.
I'm just going to say, they both said just what I was going to say, so
There
that's
you go.
good.
That's what I was going to say, too. All right, Mr. Duncan.
Good, thank
you.
Good. All right. Ms. Janice? Ms. Abrams?
Need to let everybody know out there in the internet world, we are going to be selecting a new superintendent tomorrow night. Everybody needs to be here if they would like to listen to the interviews. If you haven't seen the interviews online already, please do so and come voice your opinion. I'd just like to say that, a lot of people in the internet world. I call them keyboard warriors. They have a lot to say about our superintendent or our board, but out of 9 of us, only one person has an opponent that is running again. So undoubtedly, either they think you all are doing a great job, or they just didn't put their money where their mouth was and run against anybody. I'm just going to be honest about this. Don't complain if you don't voice your opinion or if you don't vote. That's just how it is. So congratulations to all of my board members here that are going to be reelected. I wish I was going to be here with you again, but I'm moving on to grandchildren duties. And we hope to see everyone tomorrow night as we elect or select our new superintendent, although we're going to miss our reigning superintendent very much.
Yeah, just to echo that, I think today we talked about maybe doing a QR code. I think that maybe went out.
It is live.
It is live. So if employees or whoever, they have questions, please submit those questions so we can compile that. And then we'll look at those, or somebody will look at those. Somebody's going to look at those randomly or pull out. If there's probably 30 of the same question, we'll try to funnel those toward the top of the pile. But we look forward to that process and look forward to the next chapter. And I know things are in great hands now. Things will be in great hands next year as well. A little update on Roseland, and just public knowledge. The project has kind of been on hold for the city of Roseland while we get a survey. We have a surveyor going out this week that's going to identify the lines for us. The city of Roseland had a surveyor go out and confirm the fact that the building is partly on our property. There's still a dispute as far as where that line is, but regardless, it's still on part of our property. According to the letter, the attorney said they were going to start construction back up on their side of the line. I'm not really sure how you do that, but the reason I'm bringing this up tonight, because I want to encourage the board. At some point, we as a board will have to have an agreement with the city of Roseland. They will draft something, we will negotiate whatever it is, whether we donate land to them or whether they move the building or whatever. I want to just make sure, whatever our agreement is, needs to include the legal fees and the survey fees that we've had to incur during this. This is not our mistake. This has been their mistake. And I do not want to take money out of the classroom to pay for another municipality's problems. We're trying to fix a problem and we want to help them. We want to see them proceed with their project. But we should not be taking classroom funds to do this on their behalf. So I just ask the board to please support that, and whatever agreement we come up with is including in that. So, and thank you for a great smooth start. Maintenance, I want to echo that. I was at several open houses and a lot of good things I saw. I will put a plug in at Sumner. We have lights that were put up in 1981, the old fluorescent lights. We really need a lighting project to pull these things down and go with LED lights throughout the building. The school itself is looking great, but those, you go in a room and half the lights are on, half are dim, half are bright. That would aid in education so much by updating the lighting. So that's my soapbox.
Fresh paint and lights.
Thank you.
Fresh paint and lights.
That's right. And floor.
And floor.
Mr. Westmoreland.
Good tonight. Thank you.
All right. All I got to say is thank you to the A team. Incredible start to school. Appreciate y'all. It's all team effort. Everybody in this room, actually, except for these 2 candidates. They hadn't done anything yet. But anyway, appreciate the A team for real, though. Y'all did a great job. I mean, I literally have had so few complaints and calls. It's like summer is going on again.
Wall,
So
man, we
thank
share the
y'all.
same district. Knock on that wall.
Wait, what's that? No, we don't have to. No, when you have an A team, you don't have to knock.
You knock on the
It's
wall because
skills,
we
not
share
one.
that district together, boy.
So, but anyway, other than that, I do not believe we have any public comment. Is that correct?
No, sir.
All right, with no public comment, we will call this meeting adjourned. Thank you all.